Okay, so welcome. I decided to do a little guide for pure farming. Um, I'm not gonna go like into like huge details, but I will sort of go through the different maps and sort of go through what you can do and kind of the basics of what you need to do it with. Um, I'm starting with the big one, Montana, and this is where we have the most activities. It's, you know, the biggest map and where there's the most to do. Oops. I'm sorry. I haven't played in a couple of weeks, so I can't even remember the controls now. There we go. Um, so, as you can see, we have a lot of fields. And on these fields in Montana, you can grow, hold on, run faster. On these fields in Montana, you can grow wheat, barley, rye, and grass. Now, the grass is mainly used for your animals, the cows and the goats specifically. You know, you can just use it as grass or you can make silage. I'll get back to that in a second. We have, as well as fields, we have greenhouses. You have these small greenhouses. There are 4 of those. You also have 2 industrial greenhouses. This one here and this one here. Now these, as you can see, cost 250,000, whereas the small ones cost 15 and then 10,000 to upgrade. So obviously the industrial greenhouses, you know, you get a lot of output from those, but they're also very expensive to buy. So yeah, so other than that, we have orchards, we have pear orchards, we have apple orchards, and we have plum orchards. And the orchards, you know, they need water and they need to be sprayed with a sprayer. I'll just show you that real quick. This sprayer. And this sprayer also needs to be used for plantations and stuff. I'll get to that when we get to those maps. Now, one thing to note about orchards and plantations, basically everything that you use that sprayer on. If it happens to rain when you're present on that map, the rain will wash away the pesticide from the trees or the plants that you sprayed. So when the rain stops, you will need to spray them again, unless it's already fully grown, in which you can just harvest it. But otherwise, you need to spray it again if it rains. But you have to wait until the rain stops. Now for the fields, and this is very easy if you walk up to them. You can see they need to be plowed, cultivated, sown, fertilized, irrigated, and sprayed. Now the spraying, you need a different sprayer. You need, see if I can find it here. You need this one. And the spraying, you cannot do it while it rains, same as spraying the orchards and stuff. But another thing about the spraying is that you cannot spray fields until the crops have sprouted out of the ground, so you have to wait until a day or 2 days, up to you, after you've planted it, because it takes 3 days for plants to fully grow. So so you need to do it on, yeah, either day 2. Sorry, you need to do it either the day or the day after tomorrow after you plant. If you try to do it right after you plant it on the first day, it's not going to work. Now for the grass fields, unlike all the other fields, the grass fields, once you have harvested a grass field, the grass will regrow. You don't have to plant it again, but you also don't have to fertilize. You also don't have to fertilize or spray it again. You only have to irrigate it. And now I know when you harvest it, all the bars go down and stuff. But if you actually try to fertilize or spray it again, it's not gonna work, and it's because it's already fertilized and everything. And actually, if you go to another map and you then come back, all those bars will be full again. But otherwise, the other crops, it's you have to replant them, obviously. Now for the greenhouses, you can plant tomatoes, cabbages, and peppers. Those are the 3 things you can plant in Montana in the greenhouses, or you can grow. Oh, I forgot, on fields you can also plant potatoes. Sorry. You can plant potatoes as well, and potatoes need specialized equipment for both sowing and harvesting. Now the potatoes can obviously be sold, or, and this is where we get to the animals, you can feed them to your pigs. Now, pigs and cows, which are also here, we have the cows up here. We also have more elsewhere on the map. And goats as well. Goats are free DLC that you need to download from the PlayStation Store or Xbox Live Store or Steam or wherever you are. And they will also appear on the map. We have goats up here. I think there's another one somewhere. Anyway, the cows and goats actually work pretty much exactly the same. They produce milk, and they produce solid and liquid manure that you can either sell or use as fertilizer. And about that, fertilizing your fields with manure from your cows or your goats actually has a larger effect than the fertilizer used spread with fertilizer spread. I can't find the word right now. The manufactured fertilizer, So manure is more effective as a fertilizer than the artificial stuff. With cows and goats and with pigs as well, you can feed them with, you can just go up to these bags and feed them if you like, or you can feed them yourself. And feeding them yourself, according to the encyclopedia anyway, is better. In terms of the pigs, it gives them more value, and in terms of the cows, they produce more milk, and the goats as well. Now the way pigs work is you feed them potatoes if you feed them yourself, and then basically you buy them and they grow up after 3 days, and then you sell them for a profit. You can either do that directly through your tablet here, or you can get an animal trailer. Let's see, nope, it's under trailer, I think. Yeah, here we go. One of these. Small one, big one. So you can put them into these and you can go sell them. There are various points across the map, like down here, where you can sell them. And transporting them in the trailer and selling them will give you more money than selling them through your tablet. Although selling them through your tablet is faster, so it's up to you. Now the cows and the goats is a bit more complicated. Again, you can feed them with these bags if you want, or you can feed them yourself, and for those you need the mixer wagon, this. And for that you need straw, grass, and or silage. And you can pick it up with a loading wagon. This, if you want, you can make silage in this bunker. Personally, I prefer doing bales. You need a baler, of course, and straw comes from your crops. Obviously, you on the harvester. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I press R1. Oh, sorry. I might need to turn it on. No. Okay, for some reason I can't make it show up right now. It might be this harvester, I'm not even sure right now. Regardless, when you harvest, there should be an option to either straw cut or straw dump. And straw dump obviously dumps the straw and you can pick it up, or straw cut just disperses the straw across the field, really, and that actually acts as fertilizer and has the same effectiveness as manure, but it will not cover the whole field, so you sort of need to fertilize the rest of it still. But regardless, the grass, you can grow a field of grass and get grass that way, or you can really just any grass you see around a map you should be able to cut and get grass from there. Now once you get a grass bale, you can then wrap it into a silage bale, but a silage bale takes about 3 days to actually turn into silage. And when you walk up to a bale here, you will see where it says grass bale up on the right there? There will be a percentage under that that shows you how far along it is in the fermenting process into silage. Now once that percentage goes away and it says silage, they are done. If you use it before it's ready, it will only count as grass. Now also you can see when I walk up here, you get the option to sell the bales. This is how you sell bales. There is no other way to sell bales if you want to sell them. The straw and grass sell for 100 per bale. Silage will sell for 200 per bale. So with the cows, once you so basically you put the bales into the mixer wagon. Ideally you need one straw bale, one grass bale, and one silage bale, and that will all mix together into the ideal mix that you can then give to the cows or the goats. And that is basically the ideal feed for them. The milk, you will also need a milk tank. Not there. A milk cistern, I believe it's called. Yep. That you then transport to a sell point as well. There's one here, so you go sell it there. The manure you can put in a tanker or in a trailer, and you can sell it at the biogas plant or biogas factory up here. Or like I said earlier, you can use it as fertilizer. You will need a manure spreader for the solid manure, obviously, and also a spreader for the liquid manure. Then we have the chickens and the rabbits over here. Chickens produce eggs. Quite simple. And they don't need to be fed. Rabbits over here also don't need to be fed. And basically you buy them. They grow up after 1 day, and then you sell them, and you double your money. That's the whole point. So basically rabbits are like a little quick money maker. And I think that's about it. Well, we have the solar panels and the windmills. Those, you know, are you buy them and then they give you a little bit of income every day, just without you doing anything more. But it does take 3 weeks before they start to make a profit, so keep that in mind. And I think that's pretty much it for Montana. So I've been I think that's the gist of it, really. Now another thing to note is you see these sheds around. You can buy those, and when you buy one, you can teleport to it from the map. So you can do it on foot. That will cost you 30 euros. Or you can do it in a vehicle, which will cost you 150 euros. So any shed you own, you can see here it says teleport to shed number 1 costs 30 euros because I'm on foot. If I was in a vehicle, the vehicle will come with me and it would be 150. Another thing you can do to transport vehicles around is use the virtual garage. You see here. So, and this is free, by the way. So this is also a way to move vehicles around. So say I want to move my my cedar here. I choose it, I click move, it disappears from the list. So you say open garage list, you click it, and it will come up with all the sheds you own, and you choose which one you want it to go to, and that's it. Now that cedar will be at that shed. So that's a neat and free way to move equipment around. See, it appears there. But I think that's about it. Forgive me if there's anything I forgot, but I don't think so. Another thing is here, if you happen to drive your vehicle into water or something, you can recover it there. Yeah. So, oh wait, I'm just gonna show you. You can wash your vehicles in here, and this is in every map has a workshop like this where you can wash your vehicle, and where you can repair them. You just drive them up here and then go in here in this menu and you can repair. And this is something vehicles break down over time. So and what happens on PS4, basically if you're driving a vehicle and your controller suddenly starts to vibrate really badly and you're moving really slowly, it's because it needs to be repaired. So get it into the workshop. Yeah, I think that about covers it. So I am going to travel, and yeah, sure, let's go to Italy. So we're just going for a little loading screen here. So Italy, we have olive groves, vineyards, and orange orchards. And we also have some greenhouses. I believe we have some chickens as well. Yeah, sitting here waiting for a loading screen, sorry. But that's just part of gaming, isn't it? You just have to deal with loading screens. Okay, here we go. So we go down to the map, and you can see we have a whole bunch of vineyards, whole bunch of olive groves. We have a few greenhouses up here. We have, whoops, some chickens. I think we have, this is number 4. Yeah, that's 3 more here. There's also a few windmills dotted around. And we have 2 orange orchards. Now these orange orchards are actually kind of ridiculous, to be honest. They don't cost that much to buy, but your profit on them is insane. And trust me, you will need a big trailer to transport these, or you know, you're going to be doing a lot of driving back and forth otherwise. Basically, each time you get oranges, you get 40,000. No, sorry, you get 60,000. 60,000 kilos from each plantation. So 120 in all. So if you have the biggest trailer in the game, which is 40,000, that is 3 trips. And they sell for a lot. You make a ton of money from the oranges, so it's a little overpowered. So really, whether you're, you know, whether you think it's too much is up to you. But if you want quick money, the oranges are the way to go. I'm just gonna teleport up here to the shop, which is also something you can always do. So I'm gonna see if I can, hold on. I am going the wrong way. Typical. Although I think I have to, because I should have brought my pickup, I think. Anyway, we have the oranges here. That plantation. And this box here is where your fruit will appear, and this is the same for all orchards. You know, after 3 days, the fruit will appear here, and you will have to get a trailer and go sell it. So down here we have an olive grove. Now the olive groves and the vineyards, there's a vineyard over here, I can talk while I'm running through it. The vineyards and the olive groves are actually in preparation very similar to orchards. They need water and they need to be sprayed. However, when they are ready to harvest, we have your vineyard over here. When they're ready to harvest, you don't get them a box. You have to actually harvest them. And there are 2 options. The big option is this, which is the dedicated harvester. And this harvests both olives and grapes. There's also the small one here, which needs to be pulled behind a tractor. And this also works for both olives and grapes. Now these they have their own tank. You're not gonna unload into a trailer. You have to transport it in the harvester, either to the sell point or to one of the storage points, where you can then put it into a trailer and take it to the sell point if you prefer. In terms of the greenhouses, you can plant tomatoes, cabbages, and peppers in all the countries, I believe, but in Italy, the exclusive plant here is eggplant. So, yeah. That is pretty much Italy. And you can see we have this volcano in the middle. That's what it's supposed to be anyway. I believe it's supposed to be a play on Sicily. which is, you know, the island in the south of Italy, which has the volcano Etna on it. But that's kind of a side note. So I will now go to, let's go to Colombia. And we have to go for a loading screen again. That's just how it is. So in Colombia, we have hemp farming, and we have coffee. We also have some greenhouses, and I believe there are some chickens there as well. Chickens everywhere. But yeah, waiting for the loading right now. Sorry, I'm just doing a little dance to the music here. I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, here we are in Colombia. Now we have these 4 fields. Those are all for hemp, which is the only thing you can plant on them. And we have the coffee plantations. You got 4 of those as well. You also have 3 greenhouses. Now the exclusive plant for greenhouses in Colombia is chili. You also have some chickens here, and here, and here. And you have some solar panels. And yeah. So let's see if I really should have brought my pickup around. Okay, I think it was those doors closing. It sounded a little creepy in my headphones. Yeah, here we have a greenhouse. And here we have a coffee plantation. Now, coffee plantations are like the others. They need water, and they need to be sprayed. And of course, I'm still talking about this sprayer. The same as for the orchards and for the olives and for the vineyards. And then when they are ready to harvest, you need a coffee harvester, which is this. And like the ones for olives and grapes, it has its own tank, and you don't need to unload into a trailer. You just transport it in the harvester. As for the fields with the hemp, it's really the same as the fields in Montana in terms of planting them. They need to be plowed, cultivated, sown, fertilized, irrigated, and sprayed. However, when you need to harvest, you need a forage harvester, which is this one. You need that, and you need the header. And you also need to attach a trailer to the back of this harvester, which the hemp goes into. And well, that is how you harvest hemp. Also note that, like it says there, when buying for the tablet, prices are 20% higher than if you physically go to the shop. So that's also just a note to keep in mind. So yeah, that is kind of it for Colombia, I think. Sorry. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So I will now go to Japan. Yeah, more loading screens. that's just how it is. But Japan, we got rice, and we have cherry plantations. Again, we got greenhouses. Sorry, cherry orchards, not plantations. But I will get into that in a moment when we load in. Okay, here we are. So here we are in Japan, and we have 5 fields. Now these fields are all for rice. And what you will notice, again I should have brought my pickup, but I'll run it. What you'll notice when we get up here is that these fields are underwater, as rice fields are supposed to be, which is quite cool. And this field, I'll just buy it and show you. You can see it only needs to be plowed and sown. That is it. So you need to plow it, and you need to sow it with a rice planter, which is this tiny thing that well, plants rice. You can try it out for yourself. It's a very cute little thing. So you plant it with that, and once it's grown, I should have just stayed in here. Once it's grown, you need to harvest the rice with a rice harvester, which is this. Need the harvester, need the header. And a thing to note here is that the only trailer that will fit under the pipe, the unloading pipe of this, is this little blue one. That is the only one that will fit. So you need that one specifically if you're doing rice. Now cherry plantations, well, they're really they're the same as any other plantation. They need water, they need to be sprayed, and once they're done, once they're ready, the cherries will appear in a box, and you need to transport it to a sell point. That's it. Well, there's a cherry plantation down there, but you know what a plantation looks like by now. We have freight greenhouses over here. The exclusive crop for these in Japan is wasabi. And by the way, that is wasabi the plant, not wasabi the stuff that you get with sushi. You have a few rabbits up here, and you have some chickens down here. And well, that is Japan pretty much. And that leaves us with Germany. Now Germany is a DLC map. It is included in the deluxe edition, or you can buy it separately if you so desire, but it is a DLC map. It is not included in the base game. Now what we have in Germany is sheep, which is exclusive to the Germany map. We have one field, as you will see in a moment. Well, I will get into this in a moment once the loading screen is done. You can also see some tips on screen during these loading screens if you wish, or you can read the encyclopedia. There is a lot of good stuff in there. Right, so here we are in Germany, and we have sheep down here, well, they produce wool. that you pick up and go sell at a sell point. Am I even going the right way? Yes. And like with the other animals, you can feed them through this box, or if you prefer, you can use a mixer wagon and feed them yourself, and you can use the one field that we have available to get what you need. And I know it's one field, so it's not really ideal, but you can do it if you are determined enough. So what we can plant on this field is actually the same things as in Montana. You can do wheat, barley, rye, and grass, but the one thing that you can only grow in Germany is canola. This is exclusive to Germany, just like the sheep are. So those are the two draws of the Germany map. You also have some chickens and some rabbits, and you have a greenhouse. I believe just the one. Yes. And you also have a cow barn. I didn't remember that part, but you do have a cow barn as well. So if you want to have cows here as well, you can. Though again, with just having one field, it is a little more challenging than Montana if you want to feed them yourself. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I think we've gone over pretty much everything. You can skip time if you like. You can check out the statistics. You can hire workers on fields, by the way. And for the workers, you need your own equipment, by the way. There's also a drone here that you can use on all the maps. And you can choose it. You can see I can teleport here to the shed if I want, or I can buy things. So for example, I can buy this greenhouse. And this can be done with the drone. You can buy fields as well. You can buy pretty much anything. What else? You can turn to first person view. You can do this in vehicles as well. You have a flashlight. And you can change the passage of time. So right now I have it at x1, but it goes all the way up to x600. X1 is obviously real time. Anything else I have forgotten? You can take out bank loans if you like. Taking a loan, you choose the amount, and then you choose amount of installments, and this determines how much money you pay each day. Basically, the more days you choose to pay it over, the less you have to pay every day, but you know, you do have to pay an installment every day. Just keep that in mind. We have the stock market where you can check the prices of everything. You can sell your buildings, basically, you know, as you can see, fields, orchards, greenhouses, livestock buildings, sheds, grain warehouses, silos, and green energy. You can sell all that through here if you decide you don't want it anymore. You can sell animals through here if you want. Although, as you can see, with pigs and cows, the selling price here is 20% lower than if you transport them yourself. Cows can also be transported in trailers. You can buy seeds and pesticides and stuff through here, but there's really no point. You can get those at every shed. Every shed, whether you own it or not, you can get all of that. Seeds, fertilizer, pesticide. You can sell stuff here from silos as well if you can't be bothered to transport it, but again, you get a lower price. As for water, you need to find water for the greenhouses and for your spraying your fields. You need these water refill points and a water tank. If it rains, it will irrigate your fields to 100%. So keep that in mind, and you can see the forecast here on the front. Just be aware that just like real life, the weather forecast is not always accurate. It mostly is, but not every time, so keep that in mind. It's not a guarantee, at least not in my experience. You can see statistics over everything. And we have the encyclopedia, and I think honestly that's pretty much it. It also says sapphires collected. This is in Montana. Oh, I should have shown you that when I was there. Is little green rocks. Little green rocks. You know what? I will travel back there real quick and show you. Sapphires are little green rocks. They are collectibles. There are 100 of them spread around the Montana map. If you want, you can find guides on where to get them on YouTube. But regardless, if you get all 100, you get 200,000 euro. But whether this is something you want to go after is obviously up to you. It is required for one of the trophies if you're into trophy hunting, which I personally am. I've had the platinum for this game for a long time. I keep playing it though because I enjoy it. That was a side note, sorry. Alright, this is another thing. If you press down the right stick, you can transport the vehicles, and as you can see at the top it says cars and tractors. So this is because it's in categories, so you click and you can go for the categories of all your vehicles. So I will go into my truck and I will show you, because I remember one of these sapphires. There is one down here by the water tank, so I will show you that real quick. And first person view, as I was talking about earlier. See that? This is a sapphire. These are scattered all over the Montana map. So I pick it up. Sapphires collected 1 of 100. And you can pick these up with your vehicle as well, actually. If you just drive over it with your vehicle, you will also pick it up. You don't need to be on foot. Oops, see, there's another one here. So, there we go. Also, the reason I have 5 million euro is because you can choose how much money you start with in free farming, obviously. So I just, you know, this is a new game I just started up to show you all of this and talk about everything. Another thing is there is an option to change fuel consumption on your vehicles, although this is only in the main menu. You know what? I will show you. This is because when the game first came out, a lot of people complained that the fuel consumption was just too much, and I agreed with that. So they, in a patch, implemented the option to change it. So you go into options, go go into gameplay and you see fuel consumption. By default, it is 1:1. That is what it was at when the game came out. Now you can see you can put it to half, 1/4, or 1/8. I personally have it set to 1/4, but you know, of course, that's a preference thing. And there are, of course, other options here that you can turn on or off to your preference. But I believe that's it. Of course, you have free farming, you have the farming challenges, and you have the My First Farm campaign mode. You have here for each map. And I believe that is pretty much it. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Maybe I went into more detail than I needed to, I don't know, but I hope that it was helpful to someone. So thank you for watching, and have fun with the game. Bye!